Hi, everybody. This is Adam Elenbaas from Nightlight Astrology. It's Sunday, November 25th, and I'm sitting down to tell you a little bit about the different kinds of discounts that I'm offering right now through my annual Kickstarter. I also want to tell you a little bit about the class that I'm teaching that starts this coming Saturday, December 1st. And hopefully we'll see some of you maybe in class sometime soon, or I'll be able to do a reading for some of you. So year-round, I write daily horoscopes, create daily videos, and create content on 300 plus days of the year. I've been doing this for, this is my 6th full year doing it, 300 plus days a year. But I started writing regular free content on the web about 8 years ago now. So this for me is a cornerstone of my personal spiritual practice. I wake every morning, usually around 5 in the morning, and I begin a couple hours worth of spiritual practices, over 2 hours of meditation every single day, as well as reading of sacred scriptures like the Bhagavad Gita or the Puranas or the Tao Te Ching or the Gospels, lots of different scriptures from all over the world, sacred texts. And then I practice morning yoga, take my dog for a walk. And then after all that's done, which usually takes somewhere between 2 to 3 hours, then I sit down in my office and I will write out and plan whatever I'm going to, whatever message or teachings I'm going to deliver for the day about astrology or about the current forecast, of the day or week or month or whatever. I write monthly horoscope column that is free and accessible to everyone for sun or rising signs. I also make videos for all the sun signs once a month. And then generally speaking, I have 2, sometimes up to 4 video blogs per week plus daily content. So that takes up usually around 5 hours of my day every single day, 300 plus days of the year. As an astrologer, that means that usually, about half of every work day is dedicated to this. And then at the end of the year, I ask all of those people who enjoy my work, who, like it, share it, learn something from it, find some level of inspiration or enthusiasm in it, to support me by donating something. Well, some people use Patreon, which is a system where you basically have people pledging a certain amount per month. I choose to do a fundraiser for the last 40 days of every year. I like this because I grew up doing fundraising kind of work in the church. I was a preacher's kid, so I grew up around that, and I just like sort of rallying for a cause. Something I'm kind of good at. So at any rate, this time of year, I have about 40 plus days of fundraising. So it's kind of like a fundraising drive that you'll hear on public radio or something like that. So if you enjoy my work, if you enjoy everything that I produce and make, I'm asking that you consider pitching in and supporting me. But what I want to do is show you some of the cool stuff you can get when you do. So I always try to provide interesting rewards or opportunities for readings and things like that when you contribute. Right now, I have about 70 backers, a little over $12,000. My basic goal is $15,000. Our goal last year was, or our record last year was 368 backers total. We're at 70 right now. So we're on pace to beat our record, which I like to see every year because it means that my audience has grown and my work has grown and stuff like that. So 70 backers so far have supported me. I have about 25,000 people that subscribe regularly to my creative content for astrology, which means really we're asking a very small percentage of people who have funds available or who feel that they can, pitch in and support my work to do so. When you do, you can get a lot of different rewards. Like at the $25 level, there's a little video that I make, which is talking about how to create your own spiritual practice at home. The other tiers involve different videos as well, like $50 level, The Spiritual Purpose of Astrology, which is a video where I talk about what astrology is really, a more in-depth treatment of why we look at astrology from the standpoint of our spiritual life. And then you can see if the $75 level, I have a year ahead tarot reading. If you're local to Silver Spring, my wife and I have a donation-based yoga studio. You can pick up a class pass, 10 class pass for our studio. There's a year ahead astrology reading. a year ahead I Ching reading or a birth chart reading. These are personalized recordings that I make for you when you donate at those levels. If you're a total beginner to astrology and want to learn a little bit more, there's a greatly discounted 4-part video series class on astrology for total beginners. You can get a gift bundle for friends at $325 level. You can pick 3 readings and gift them to people. It's pretty cool. Then you'll see there's other levels as well, and you can look at some of them. And then I offer online courses. I have a first-year natal chart certification course where I teach ancient astrology over the course of a year, 30 classes plus 12 guest lecturers. So that's 42 classes in a year. You can take it in remotely, or you can be there live for the classes online. The next class starts this Saturday. It runs from noon to 2 p.m. Eastern. And again, you could be there live for the classes in the online classroom, or you could be watching the video recordings afterward if you can't make it at that time. That course is a part of these offerings as well. So usually the course is $1,299, or if you need a payment plan, it's $1,800. It's on sale for $1,000 through my Kickstarter. And you can also see that there's an advanced year 2 natal certification course. I also teach a horary astrology course, if you know what horary is. Really, really cool form of astrology, old school form of astrology. And then you can combine them too. I have, you can attend 2 of my programs for $1,600 or get all 3 of them for $2,100. There's only 5 of those available because it's a really good deal. And then there's other things like my solar or lunar apprenticeships, which are more private one-on-one style learning with me. I also have an option where you can get monthly videos made for your month ahead on the year, monthly personalized forecasts for 2019. It's like tons of stuff that you can pick from when you donate and support my work. And the gist of this is that people like myself who are creative content producers rely on their audience to fund them. So you are like, you're the source of my salary basically in the year ahead. And you have to remember that one thing that I do in all of my Kickstarters is also raise money for different kinds of community projects that we do through our yoga studio. So for example, this year, beyond the $15,000 that I'm using as a base salary for myself to produce this content, which is just a little over $1,000 a month after taxes, then we have goals of purchasing some new audio, video, computer equipment for the yoga studio and for our home office. We also need help basically compensating for the loss that we take when we let a huge amount of people take need-based tuition or scholarships to our programs, both my astrological programs as well as our yoga studios programs. Over half of our students are on some form of scholarship or assistance. We have a community herbal medicine garden that we will continue to develop this year. We'd like to try to hire a part-time assistant during busy seasons at the yoga studio. We have often am invited to speak at professional conferences that really don't pay much at all. And so you end up taking a loss on those conferences. So, your support also helps me travel to professional conferences in the astrology world that don't really pay much. And then, there's if we get far enough, we had to put in an air conditioner at our yoga studio because of the excessive heat conditions, and the AC just wasn't strong enough. So these are the kinds of things that a small business can really sort of knock you sideways and completely just knock you off track for a long period of time. So every year, beyond a base salary that I set for myself, which is usually pretty minimal, whatever we raise beyond that typically goes toward a lot of things that kind of support the larger projects that we're doing. So not a lot of people, some people don't know that although I do astrology full time, my wife and I also own a donation-based wellness collective, basically in Washington, D.C. And it's a yoga studio. It's a herbal apothecary. We have a ton of things going on there. And that business, it pays us very little. It maintains itself, pays us very little. And one of the main ways that we kind of take care of that business and keep it going is through this annual Kickstarter. So I'm putting this all out there for you as a call for your support. If you enjoy my work, if you enjoy listening to this content, you can know that a lot of integrity and a lot of heart goes into it every day, every morning. It comes from a spiritual practice that I try to maintain with integrity. And then it also, the money goes back into the community work that we're doing. So if you value this work, please pitch in and support. And then again, I have lots of hope that some of you will come out and check out my new course, which starts this Saturday. I'd love to see some of you there. And again, that's on sale through the Kickstarter as well. If you want to study astrology, there's really no better place to start than going back to the ancient Hellenistic roots of astrology. It's just a beautiful class, and it's a beautiful experience to take it in with other people over the course of a year. So if you have any questions about it, you can feel free to email me at nightlightastrology@gmail.com. Otherwise, I'm going to put the Kickstarter link in the video description on YouTube here so that you have it. And yeah, I really look forward to hopefully seeing some of you. And thank you so much to all of you for being generous and supporting my work in 2019. All right, take care, everyone.